Thank you, Mr. President. I rise today to again highlight a matter of vital importance to the social fabric of our state, the health and wellbeing of Tasmanian men and boys. Mr. President, I have stated in this place on numerous occasions that recognition for the importance of the health and wellbeing of men and boys should be led by statistics. Nationally and here in Tasmania, males account for 3/4 of all suicides. They have shorter life expectancy and higher rates of death from most non-gender specific causes. In our justice system, a staggering 93% of the prison population is male. Yet despite these clear indicators of need, there is a significant gap in government funding and support for male-specific health initiatives. Mr. President, other such statistics portray a particularly tragic tale and underpin why support for men and boys is such an important issue to our communities at large. Mr. President, the majority of youth offenders are boys. Men are more prone to recidivism, and as I've mentioned, men are more likely to be in jail. Of course, Mr. President, men are also the main perpetrators of domestic violence. To my mind, these statistics beget a singular rational reaction. We must be proactive in our response, not just reactive. This is the only way to constructively approach such statistics. Just as many other social justice movements have recognised, Mr. President, these statistics do not show a flaw within the demographic. Rather, they show a failure in societal and structural support. Frankly, Mr. President, many boys do not receive access to the role models and positive outlets necessary in modern society. And as we know, many men do not receive the support they need to reintegrate and thrive within society. However, Mr. President, to address these challenges, we are seeing a groundswell of community-led action. This action is proactive in supporting better societal outcomes. At the heart of this movement is Men's Resources Tasmania, MRT, a local grassroots community-based organisation working to lead and inspire work to improve health outcomes for men and boys. Mr. President, MRT's vision for the state is a community where everyone reaches their full potential, and they know that for many men, that journey requires a new way of thinking about support and connection. Mr. President, I have previously brought to your attention the Building Pathways Transition to Community program. This innovative program provides vital support to men at their most vulnerable point, the transition from prison back into society. As this program takes shape, the call for more volunteer mentors is still out. Mentors serve as a steady, non-judgmental presence, helping participants navigate community resources and reintegrate into society as a positive member. Mr. President, beyond the justice system, we are seeing an increased demand for men's groups across the state. This is particularly visible since the recent success of the 29th Annual Tasmanian Men's Gathering on Bruny Island, which demonstrated profound yearning for authentic connection among Tasmanian men. MRT is responding to this demand by supporting grassroots initiatives that meet men where they are. One such initiative, Mr. President, is the Community Conversation, taking place on Tuesday, 19th of May at St Luke's in Hobart. As part of the Men Against Violence initiative, this event moves away from lectures or panels, instead offering an open, facilitated space for men and community members to explore how we can collectively create a safer, more respectful Tasmania. Furthermore, Mr. President, on June the 10th, MRT will host a major statewide men's health forum in Hobart, bringing together frontline workers, health leaders and policymakers to build momentum and create a targeted day of action. The positive theme of what's working will create the opportunity to hear about stories of success from several programs and initiatives in Tasmania, and to help inform the broader community sector to think differently about how they engage with men and boys. Additionally, great success is being realised through informal community-based active connections such as the Man Walk, which has recently launched in Hobart, providing a simple, no-barrier way for men to walk, talk and support one another. MRT is supporting the establishment of the first Perfect Barbecue in Mr Perfect Barbecue in Hobart, while other such events happen across the state, particularly across the northwest coast. These initiatives, Mr. President, alongside the tireless work of men's sheds and men's tables around Tasmania, are essentially breaking the cycle of isolation, mental ill health and frustration that so many men face. To support the community sector workforce, MRT is supporting the Reaching Men's Training Workshop in Hobart later this month. This project, led by the Australian Men's Health Forum, provides health and community sector workers with the specialised tools needed to strengthen their practice when engaging with men. As the budget approaches, Mr President, I strongly urge the government to consider greater support to the men's health sector. For an example, an annual grant round similar to the International Women's Day grant aligning with Men's Health Week in June or International Men's Day in November. MRT is well placed to support such initiative by fostering pro-social connections and expanding the narrative of what it means to be a man in society today. We are building a safer, more cohesive and richer community for everyone. I call on my fellow honourable members to support these initiatives, whether it is by encouraging members of your community to become a Building Pathways mentor, by attending the upcoming Men's Health Forum, or encouraging other activities during Men's Health Week in June. We all have a role to play in supporting men, thereby enriching our communities, protecting others, strengthening relationships, and Mr President, it will be for the betterment for all of Tasmania. Together we can ensure that no Tasmanian man has to walk the path of life or reintegration alone.
Yeah.